Ever wonder why she keeps looking at him? Not the guy her age, not the one with the gym pass and the polished small talk, but him, the man with a few lines etched into his face, sitting quietly in a room full of voices, sipping his coffee like he survived a war he never speaks of. She's drawn to something in him, not flash, not status, something older, heavier, real. And here's what nobody really tells you. If you're a man over 35, you might already have what younger women are chasing, but you've been too wrapped in self-doubt to even notice. So before you brush off her glances, before you think she'd never want someone like me, listen carefully, because there are 5 qualities older men carry, like ghosts tucked into the lining of their coat pockets. And these don't just attract younger women, they linger in their minds. Trait number 1, the calm before the storm. Ever walk into a room and feel it, like something's just different? Not a bad way, in a who the hell is that guy kind of way. That's the energy of an older man who knows himself. He's not wearing cologne that slaps you in the face. He's not loud, not flashing his watch, not trying to win you over with one-liners, like he's auditioning for some Roll Hill Neverland. He simply is. And you know what? Younger women, they notice, because their world, it's chaos, loud, fast, frantic, midnight texts from boys who confuse emojis with emotion and think WID is meaningful conversation. Now, picture this. She walks into a cafe. She's 24, tired of the games, done with the chase and the fear of commitment. She orders her overpriced latte, then spots him, older, reading a real book, not swiping through TikTok. There's a crease in his brow, not from stress, from thought, from living, maybe even from pain. She doesn't fully get it, but something about him pulls her in. It's not lust, not yet. It's curiosity, like walking into a fog-covered forest and hearing something breathe deep out there in the dark. She doesn't know if it's a monster or a miracle. And that mystery is intoxicating. Because this man, he's calm, and in a world full of jittery guys, texting too fast and apologizing for their own shadows. That calm, it's power. The Stoics understood it, and you feel it. When you're around a man who's made peace with quiet, who doesn't fear stillness, want to know what makes him magnetic? It's not the lines on his face. It's the story those lines whisper. Trait number 2, the kind of pain you can't Google. Let's go deeper now. Stick with me. When you're young, heartbreak feels like a Taylor Swift track. Some guy ghosts you. You post a thirst trap and move on. But when you're older, heartbreak, it grows teeth. You've buried people, lost jobs, sat alone in dark apartments, with burnout bulbs you couldn't care enough to replace. And the man who's lived through all that, he carries something young guys just don't have. Depth. That depth isn't some poetic metaphor. It's not pretty. It's heavy, quiet, like the smell of wet asphalt, like the ache of an empty chair at dinner. Younger women, whether they realize it or not, are craving something real, something with weight, something that leaves a mark when they touch it. And that older man, with the haunted eyes and the steady hands, he's been shattered before and rebuilt himself piece by bleeding piece. She feels it. It radiates from him, not as sadness, not as pity, but as stillness, in the way he listens more than he speaks, and how he isn't proving anything, because he's already lost everything once and survived. Let me tell you a story. There was this man, mid-50s, used to play music. He loved someone once. Maybe she left. Maybe she died. He never said. But every night, he'd play the same old jazz tune on a beat-up piano in the corner of a dive bar downtown. Then one night, a woman walks in, mid-20s, fresh from a heartbreak, by some guy who thought being vulnerable meant being weak. She hears the music. She watches his hands, not just the way they move, but the way they pause. Later, she sits down next to him. She doesn't ask for his number. She asks what the song means. And that right there, that's the difference. Younger women aren't looking for the surface. They're looking for the soul, even if they don't quite have the words to explain it. And older men, they got in spades, not because they went searching for it, but because they earned it. Trait number 3, the dangerous comfort of self-control. Now this is where things get complicated, because what younger women crave, but would never admit out loud, is a man who desires them deeply, but doesn't act on it. Let that settle in for a moment. The man who could, but doesn't. That's power. Picture this. You're an older guy. You're sitting across from a younger woman, as breathtaking as the first snow of the year. Her laugh rings like wind chimes. Her dress slips off one shoulder when she shifts in her seat. And your ice isn't cold. It's controlled. She leans in, says something flirtatious. There's heat in the air, undeniable. But you meet her eyes and say, I like where this is heading, but I respect you too much to rush it. Boom. That's it. She's hooked. Because every other guy, they fold. They pounce, ruin the moment. Choke it with their need. But not you. You know something they never learned. Self-control is the ultimate seduction. And it's a stoic trait too, isn't it? The idea that mastery of the self is far more powerful than mastery over others. Younger women are testing men all the time, and most don't even realize they're doing it. Can you hold tension? Can you sit with fire without smothering it or getting burned? Most fail, but older men who've loved, lost, and lived, they pass those tests with ease because they've learned the truth. Real attraction isn't about possession. It's about patience. It's about restraint. It's about crafting a space where the fire can burn without turning to ash. That kind of man, he's rare. And women, especially younger ones, chase rare like it's. Trait number 4. He's got shadows, and he doesn't hide them. There's a kind of man who makes people nervous, not because he's dangerous, but because he's been through dangerous. He's the one who doesn't flinch when chaos strikes. He's calm when the lights cut out. He's the man you want near when everything starts unraveling. And here's the thing. Younger women chase him. Not the perfectly polished guy, quoting affirmations. Not the one preaching about good vibes, but falling apart when the Wi-Fi's down. No, they're drawn to the older man who stared down his own demons and said, You again? Fine, have a seat. Because here's a twist most people miss. Attraction? It's not just about light. Real magnetic pull. It comes from shadow. From a man who owns his flaws, instead of masking them behind money or cologne. The man who doesn't need to spill his sob story. You see it in his silence, in his eyes, carved in. He's not carrying a sad song. He's holding a whole library of pain, and it taught him how to read others. Younger women pick up on that, like static in the air. They don't always know why. They can't stop thinking about him. Why his voice loops in their mind late at night. Why that half smile felt more intimate than a full hour of small talk with someone their age. It's because they saw the shadow. And while the boys their age run from theirs, this man wears his like armor. Here's what flips everything. Younger women don't chase perfection. They chase authenticity. And the older man, the stoic man, the one who crawled through heartbreak and came out quiet, he's real. She may not be able to explain it, but around him, she feels safe. Not because he's harmless, but because he chooses not to harm. That kind of power, most men will never earn it. And most women, they'll never. Trait number 5. Forget it. 5. He doesn't need her. And that's exactly why she wants him. Let's talk about this last trait. And fair warning, this one stings. Younger women often chase older men because he doesn't need her. Sounds cold, right? But it's not. It's magnetic. Because when you're a woman in your 20s, life is a fog filled with compliments, cheap attention, and men who treat your body like. It's like the prize hidden at the bottom of a cereal box. Everyone seems to want something from you. But then she meets him. He's older, wiser. And when he looks at her, it feels different. He sees her, but he doesn't cling. He appreciates her, but he doesn't revolve around her. Why? Because he doesn't need her to complete him. He's already created his own peace. That's the stoic edge. Older men who've done their inner work don't need a woman to heal them, fix them, or make them feel worthy. They're already whole. And that's the twist. Women are pulled toward men who don't chase them like there's some kind of cure. That older man, he'll meet her gaze without flinching. He'll enjoy her presence, but he'll never beg for it. If she wants to walk away, he'll let her, because he understands love isn't about rescue. It's about choice. And the moment she senses that he's fine without her, that's when she starts chasing him. Not because she's desperate, but because for the first time, she sees a man who won't collapse under the weight of her affection. A man who can hold her, not to possess, but to honor. That's rare, and that's why younger women don't just like older men. They chase them, not for the age gap, not just for experience, but because older men carry something most younger guys haven't yet earned. Silence in the storm, stillness in the chaos, peace even in solitude. So before you count yourself out, just because of your age, before you assume younger women only want what's loud and shiny, stop. If this resonated with you, don't just scroll past. Leave a comment, share your thoughts, or simply type "still standing" below. Because someone out there needs to hear this. The storm may howl, but the stoic man, he stands still.